Okay, great. Let's have everyone move into their mat position in a child's pose. And just so you know, I'm still having a little swelling from my ACL surgery on my knee, so you're gonna see me doing some modifications. Like I'm gonna stick my leg out to the side so I can do child's pose. So once you're in your child's pose, it's a nice opening for the lower back. If you have your knees out wider and the toes touching in, that can help get a little space for that belly, which helps reduce pressure on the low back. You can stretch those arms out in front, or if you have a block, you could rest your forehead on the block, or draw your elbows up to give some support for that upper body. And once you're in that comfortable child's pose position, let's just start by counting our breaths, starting at 10 down to 1. When you're ready, go ahead and inhale, coming up to all fours. Child's pose is nice to kind of draw in all those senses and kind of tune into our body. We're going into our all fours position now. We're going to warm up doing the different movements of our spine. So we'll start with flexion, extension. So when we're all fours, the knees are underneath those hips and hands under the shoulders. We'll inhale as we prepare. Exhale as you round out into your cat. Chin comes toward the chest. Your gaze can be through your legs. And then inhale, pulling that tailbone out, expanding through the belly and the chest. Look straight ahead along the horizon. And then keep going back and forth. Exhale into cat. And inhale into cow. We'll do 2 more of those. When you move into your cow, go ahead and draw those shoulder blades back. Really expand out through that heart center. And then pressing through those fingertips. And then coming back to a nice neutral position, we'll do the tail wag next. So this is a lateral flexion of the spine. You're going to look over your shoulder as your hip comes up to the rib cage and the rib cage comes down to the hip. And then we'll go over to the opposite side. So just back and forth, nice movement for the spine, kind of getting warmed up into our practice. And then one more time, left and right. And we're going to go into all fours. Let's lift up our left hand to start. We're going to reach up nice and tall, so press into that standing hand, open up through that shoulder, and then thread that hand through the open space, drawing the shoulder all the way down to your mat. That's a nice rotation of your spine, nice twist. The other hand can reach extending forward, or you can wrap it behind your back. Okay, inhale, coming back up to all fours. Exhale, go ahead and press into those fingertips, lifting up that opposite arm. Stretch open to the ceiling. And then go ahead and thread that hand through that open space. Shoulder connects to the ground. Option to extend out the opposite arm or wrap it behind your back, either one. Okay, let's come back up to all fours. I'm going to build up a little bit of heat here. So let's start with a crouching plank. You're going to curl those toes under, lift those knees up just a couple inches off your mat. As you press into your fingertips, hollow out your chest. Pull that belly button in. So feeling that nice strong plank position. Your gaze is between your fingertips. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. And after that third breath, go ahead and release those knees, uncurl the toes, walk your hands forward into a nice modified plank, so lowering those hips, belly button comes in, tailbone slightly tucked. Let's do 5 yoga push-ups, so drawing the elbows back to your rib cage and press away for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, let's curl those toes under behind you, lifting those hips up, drawing back into your downward facing dog. And just take your time here, really lengthen through your spine. You can walk your dog by bending one leg at a time, or lifting up on the balls of your feet, stretching through the arch of the foot, drawing those heels back towards your mat. Can refresh those hands, ears between the upper arms. Try to flatten out that back as much as possible. And then we'll go ahead and flow back and forth into a plank and a down dog. So full plank or modified, your choice. Inhale. Nice strong core. Tuck that tailbone slightly. Belly button in. Hollow out your chest as you press away from your mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And last time, inhale, plank. This time, exhale, you're going to lower down into low push-up. You are welcome to draw your knees down before you do that. Exhale here. Then connect those thighs and your hips, and we're going to inhale into cobra. So when we do cobra, if you can squeeze those glutes, lengthen your legs. A common thing I see is the shoulders really high up by the ears. See if you can draw those down, expand through your chest. Like if you had a pendant that you're wearing, there's like a beam of light and you're just shooting that out in front of you. Belly button in, squeeze those glutes. So we want that extension to be a lot in the thoracic spine, not so much crunching in the low back. And then exhale, curl those toes under, press into downward facing dog. This time, let's try to bring our right leg out behind. And a nice strong leg, so squeezing those muscles. It doesn't have to go up high, just as high as it feels comfortable. Exhale, bring that knee to the chest into a plank position. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, plank with the knee in. Inhale, up. Exhale, knee in. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, this time when the knee comes in, I like to keep my hips just a little bit lifted so I can step up through my hands. That might be one giant step or a few little ones. And then we'll draw that back knee down, uncurl the toe and lift on up. Arms up, chest open. And then we'll open up those arms with the palms forward and we'll guide all the way down. And then left hand comes on the inside, gentle twist to your right. And then bringing that hand down, shift your weight back into half monkey or half split. Drawing your nose towards your knee. And then see if you can shift so that those hips are pretty even with each other. Shifting that weight forward, curling that back toe under. Let's go ahead and lift up to a high lunge. So on high lunge, the heel stays lifted. Inhale up, we'll do the same arms. Exhale, palms facing forward, open up into those cactus arms, but you just flow all the way down to your side. Inhale, left hand comes on the inside. Exhale, gentle twist to your right. Inhale, bringing that hand down, then step that back foot in, but it comes down into an angle, about 11 o'clock, and then nose to knee pyramid. Okay, inhale, step the back foot to meet the front foot. Let's go into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So bringing those hands to your thighs, lengthen out your spine, really nice flat neutral spine. Chest is open. Exhale, fold. Okay, let's step back into a plank position. Exhale, low push up. You're welcome to draw to your knees if you'd like to do it that way. Nice strong core right here. Give it a little pause and then connect those hips and legs. Inhale into cobra. Squeeze those glutes. Lengthen your legs. Open the belly and the chest, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, curling those toes, downward facing dog. And then our left leg comes up behind. Nice three-legged dog. Doesn't have to go up super high, just nice strong back leg. Squeeze those muscles into the bones. Even distribution of your weight with your hands. And then bring that knee into the chest as you move more toward plank position. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee in. Inhale up, looks great. Exhale, knee in. Inhale up. Exhale, knee in. Inhale up, and this will be our last one. We're going to step that foot up through the hands. So I like to keep my hip lift a little bit so we get that leg through. Stepping forward. Go ahead and release that back knee down. Uncurl the toes and just double check that your front heel is right below that knee. So that knee is not pushing past the ankle. Whew. All right. Inhale, let's lift up. Exhale, open those hands to the front. We're going to glide down into cactus arms all the way down, drawing the shoulder blades down. Then left hand comes on, right hand comes on the inside. Gentle twist. Got a little lost right there. Really try to expand through that chest here so that twist is happening more in the upper body versus the low back. Then bring that hand down, shift your weight back into half monkey, half split. That front leg lengthens as much as possible, nose toward the knee. And then inhale, shift that weight forward. Go ahead and uncurl, or excuse me, not uncurl, but curl that toe, lift up. And then bring your arms up. So we're going into a nice high lunge, that heel's lifted. Exhale, palms come forward, and we're going to slide all the way down. And then right hand on the inside, gentle twist to your left. Okay, so you can go outside. And then bringing that hand down, and we'll step your back foot in and shift to nose to knee pyramid. So again, that toe is pointing about 1 o'clock. Front leg is as straight as it feels comfortable. Draw your nose toward your knee. If you're really struggling here on reaching your mat, having a couple of blocks is helpful. And just think of blocks, don't think of it like, oh, I can't do this and I need this. Like sometimes it really allows you to really get into that position and make it feel really good. So just an assistance to make it more comfortable and effective. Okay, inhale, stepping forward into forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, so lengthen out that spine, chest is open, shoulders draw down your back. Exhale, fold. All right, stepping back into your plank position. We'll go ahead and do a nice flow sequence here. Inhale, plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. And last time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Okay, go ahead and bend those knees. And then walk those feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting back into our chair position. Inhale, pressing through those heels, press up and open. Great job. Okay, so hopefully we feel pretty warm now. That was the goal. Get those muscles engaged and do all the movements of the spine, working those hip flexors, hamstrings, opening up to the shoulders. So we'll go ahead and do a standing vinyasa sequence. We're going to be up at the top of our mat. So Pada Bandha, those 3 points on each foot. Over the bandha, pull the belly button in, Uddiyana Bandha, the pelvic floor in, then the belly button in, hands open to the front, nice mountain position. And then our chin lock is, this is what I was talking about when you sit in your posture, sometimes our heads kind of jet forward a little bit. So if we can just tuck that chin in slightly and hit that head so that our neck is in a nice neutral position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sitting in a chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step that right foot back. Let's go to warrior one. And on warrior one, the difference between that and your high lunge is your heel and back is on the ground. And that foot is pointing out more at about a 2 o'clock position. There we go. Your feet are, like your back foot's not directly behind your front foot. It's kind of like you're on railroad tracks. One foot's on the left side and one foot's on the right side. Opening up to warrior two. Now in Warrior Two, it may be that you reposition your feet so that they are more one's in front of the other one, or maybe just slightly apart from each other. Our drishti, or our gaze on Warrior Two, is right over those front fingertips. So see if you can allow that gaze to connect right over those front fingertips. Your front knee cap is same direction as your second and third toe. See if you can get a little bit lower in that Warrior Two. Front palm comes up. We're going to lengthen out that front leg. Inhale up. Exhale, lowering back down into Warrior Two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Warrior Two. From here, we're going to do reverse warrior. So go ahead and lift that front arm up. You can allow the back arm to draw back or wrap around your waist. And then exhale, lengthening out that front leg. We're going into triangle. You might need to shorten your stance up or use a block. Exhale, nose to knee pyramid. So one hand on each side. That toe behind you will come more forward now. So it points more at a 1 o'clock. So those hips are forward. And then we're going to walk back to our back leg. So go to your right, walking back into a wide leg forward fold. And we're going to lengthen out our back on this one. And then when we exhale, we're going to draw our weight into that back leg. So bending the back leg, left hand comes down on the ground, and we'll do a gentle twist towards the back of our mat. And then we'll kind of do a Spider-Man crawl all the way to the front as we turn that front foot, turn the back leg, drawing down to a lunge. Great job. All right, step back into plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra or up dog. We're warmed up now if you want to do up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Put that on my knee. Inhale, bend the knee slightly. Exhale, walking to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting back in a chair. Inhale, press up and open. Okay, refreshing those feet. Let's go back to Tadasana, or mountain pose. And again, it's always nice to reset that alignment. Pada Bandha, those 3 points in our feet. Gula Bandha is that pelvic floor lock. We're kind of pulling up through the pelvis. Uddiyana Bandha in the belly button, and our chin lock. Jalandhara, pulling that chin in. Shoulders flow down, wide collarbone. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. Let's do warrior one on this opposite side. So really get those strong legs before you're bringing those arms up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Taking your time, nice T position here. That front knee stays pointing straight forward, second and third toe. Your drishti is looking toward the front over that front fingertip. Go down a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen that front leg, reach up. Exhale, lower down nice and deep into that warrior two, keeping that knee above the ankle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Last one, exhale, lower. And then inhale, reverse warrior. Remember that arm can drop back or wrap around your waist, either way. Really expanding that rib cage. Nice strong back leg. That knee stays right above that ankle, same direction as your
second and third toe. And then we'll windmill those arms, lengthening that front leg into triangle. Option here to shorten your stance is what I usually have to do with triangle. And in triangle, you want to keep pretty secure in your hips, so try not to pop that hip open to the back. Just keep it nice and strong. The opening should happen from the diaphragm through the shoulder versus twisting your low back. Excellent. Palm forward. And then I realized I was kind of kinking my neck. Try to bring that neck to a nice neutral position. Okay, bringing that hand down, nose to knee pyramid. You might want to turn that toe more forward, drawing that chest towards your thigh, nose toward the knee. And then walking those hands back towards your back foot. So you're going to come around to that left side. It's a little confusing when we start moving around our mat. We can do it. And on this one, bring your hands out and lengthen your back. So open up to that heart center. Great. And then shifting your weight into your back leg. So you're going to bend that left leg back. The right hand's going to go down. Gentle twist toward the back of your mat. Push down on that front foot. See if you can get that stretch on the inner thigh. And then kind of walking those hands like Spider-Man all the way to the front. Shift your toes forward, both your front and back foot going down into your lunge position. Step back into plank. Exhale, a little push-up. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend those knees slightly. Exhale, walk to your hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, nice strong flat back, chest open, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, sitting back into chair. Inhale, press up and open. Awesome. All right. So we're going to do that flow again a little bit faster. I'm going to add a couple extra items in there and make it a little bit more interesting in the second round. So refresh those feet at the top of your mat. Remember those bandhas, those blocks, which really to me is just kind of working with engaging that core and getting that strong Tadasana mountain posture. I'm going to have to scoot back here. I'm going to run into the wall. Inhale, arms up. You're going to bring the right leg back behind you. Exhale into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So lifting that back leg up, leaning forward. You can keep your arms stretched open like this. I like to pull mine back with my palms up. It's a balanced posture, chest is open, looking straight down. Nice strong back leg. And then as you inhale, you're going to slide that back leg through, bending the knee, and we're going to come up to stork pose. So that's challenging. If you need to step down, that's fine. So stork pose, the knees lifted, palms are forward like cactus arms. Great. And then from here, we're going to cross that ankle over the knee and sit into standing pigeon. Now, my knee's limited right here, my range of motion right now, so it's not going to look as tight as it normally would. So you can sit down here, chest is open, and then inhale, go ahead and step down, lifting up. Exhale in the chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back, Warrior 1. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, lift up, lengthen that front leg. Exhale, back to Warrior 2. One more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, so that front leg stays bent, wrapping back, expanding through the rib cage. Exhale, triangle. Cartwheel those arms down. Might need to shorten up your stance. And then bringing it down to nose to knee pyramid. Both toes facing pretty straight forward. That back foot's just at a slight angle. All right, walk your hands to your back. So coming around to the right side here. Forward fold with the back lengthened. And then exhale, shift your weight, bend the back leg, but leave the front leg straight. Left hand comes down, gentle twist. And then walking those hands forward as you turn both toes forward. Go down into that lunge position, step back into your plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. This time, if you want to try to open the hip, go ahead and do that and draw your heel towards your bottom. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back to that down dog, bending the knees. And then stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Nice, long, straight, neutral back. Exhale, sitting into your chair. Inhale, press up and open. Great, one deep, nice deep breath. Refresh those feet. Get into that strong mountain position with the chest open, chin in, belly button in. Pelvic floor lifted. Inhale, lift those arms up, left leg comes back. Exhale into Virabhadrasana 3. You're going to see me wobble because of my knee. And then bringing that leg in, and remember if you need to step down this, that's fine, which I'm going to do. I'm going to be smart here. And then I'm going to bring my front knee forward into that stork pose. And then cross that ankle above the knee, sitting down into standing pigeon. Chest is open here. And then inhale, standing up, reach the sky. Exhale, sitting in a chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back, nice warrior one, strong. Front leg and back leg, come on up. Great job. Exhale, open, warrior two. Remember that gaze is called your drishti. It's over that front fingertip. Check in, make sure that kneecap's straight in line with the second and third toe. Inhale, lift up, lengthening that front leg. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper into that warrior two, keeping that knee above the ankle. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower. And then inhale into reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those arms into a triangle. And you just step that back foot in, go ahead. That front leg is pretty straight, although if you're really tight in your hamstring, you might have a slight bend. And we're opening through the rib cage, the chest and the shoulder. Head is neutral. And then coming down, nose to knee pyramid, turning that back foot in more towards 11 o'clock. Okay, walking those hands back toward that back foot, coming around to your left. Then lengthening out that back on your wide leg forward fold. Then shifting your weight, so bending that back knee. Right hand comes down, gentle twist. Front leg is straight, and you kind of push down on that front leg, feeling that through your inner thigh. And then walking those hands forward as you turn your toes to the front of your mat, coming down to lunge position. Step back, nice strong plank. So pull that belly button in, slight tuck of the tailbone, press through those hands, and then let's go down into your low push-up, but let's hold it. Let's be really strong. Give a little pause here, and then connect those thighs. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Remember, cobra, your hips and legs stay connected. Up dog, it's your up on the tops of your feet and your hands. And so from your lower legs through your chest is suspended. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up now. You can stay here in three-legged dog or open up that hip to the side, still keeping that even weight with your hands. Bring that heel towards your bottom. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees slightly. Exhale, step up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting back in the chair. Inhale, press up and open. Okay, great. Okay, so let's do another balance pose, just all on its own. We're going to do dancer. And with the balance positions, if you haven't been practicing a lot of balance work, it just takes practice. So you're welcome to use a wall to help out. So you can start with that, whatever leg feels comfortable to you. You're going to pull that heel up towards your bottom. Grab hold of the top of the foot. Now, if you can't quite reach your foot and you have a strap or a towel, that'll kind of help extend your reach. That's a great option. So this is what I would call level one. Just a nice quad stretch, hip flexor stretch. If we want to go to the next level, you're going to push that foot into your hand and you're creating this open arch position. So the more you push that foot into the hand, you're creating more space between the heel and the back. You can start to lean forward. That arm is going to stretch out in front of you. And I'm holding onto the wall because my balance on my knee is not that great right now. And then you do want your chest to mostly stay forward, so you don't start twisting on this one. You want a nice arch. Remember, you don't have to go all the way, just as much as it feels comfortable in that low back. This is dancer. Great. Okay, let's release down, and we'll switch over to the opposite side, which because of my knee swelling that I have from my surgery, I can't quite touch there, so that's okay. What I might do instead is I'll just reach it forward here, and maybe I'll do kind of a warrior one, or excuse me, warrior three. Typically, you're going to hold your arch through that back, pushing that heel against the hand, opening out through the chest. And then coming on down. Okay, great. Shake those legs out. So that was dancer. And then we'll do a nice side bend with that. So you're in mountain position. Let's go ahead and take your left leg, cross it behind the right, and we'll lift up that left arm. As you reach up, so go up as high as you can first, then go over, and then this hand is going to reach down to the ground as much as you can. And then switch sides, we'll cross the other leg behind. So right leg crosses, right arm goes up. Really reach up first, lift yourself up out of those hips, then take it over, then reach the opposite arm down nice and low. And then inhale, lifting lifting up. Uncross those feet. Okay, let's move to Malasana or garland pose. And on this one is more of a squat position, and you're welcome to use a block to sit on. You just kind of put it right underneath your pelvis as you sit back, and your elbows go on the inside and your hands are in prayer position. So again, I can't bend this knee all the way, so I'm not gonna be able to get my bottom down there, but a lot of you will be able to bring the bottom all the way down. And the limitation sometimes is just the flexibility in that or not your hamstring, in your calf and your soleus and your Achilles tendon. So don't feel, if your heels are kind of popping up, don't feel like you have to go all the way down quite yet. There you go, great. And then once you're there, see if you can expand a little bit more through your belly and your chest. Sometimes once we get in there, we're like little gremlins. So we're gonna be yogis. Open up, shoulders back, excellent. And then one hand forward, one hand back. Let's go ahead and make our way down to our mat. All right. Let's roll all the way down. Bring those legs up into a tabletop position. And then we'll bring those arms up above our shoulders. And we'll pull our right arm back as the left leg extends. So they move away from each other. The other arm and leg stay completely still. And then you come back, and then we'll switch. This is called dead bug. Great ab exercise. Nice stabilization of your core. Just remember, it gets a little confusing with the arm and the leg, opposite one going. So just remember, the arm and leg pull away from each other, and then the other one stays still. So it keeps that dead bug position. Sorry, I thought my AC was off. It's clicking on. We have like 5 people in our household, so who knows when people get a hold of the controls without me knowing. We'll do a couple more on each side. All right, great. Lower your, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest just to release that lower back, and then draw the feet down one at a time. We're gonna go up into a bridge pose. So in bridge position, your heel is right below that knee. As you lift up, you're gonna see my other leg not do that. So I'm modifying based on my knee. So we're gonna lift those hips up into bridge. I might be able to slide it a little bit more once I'm up here. So once I'm in bridge position, this one is fantastic. It's working the low back, the glutes, the back of the leg. Try to release your jaw and your neck. It tends to, for some reason, tighten up a little bit. To make it more challenging, you can lift those arms up, kind of hold them right above the ears, engaging those abs. Just give yourself a couple breaths here. And then we'll move our bridge. So as you exhale, you're going to bring those arms down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, coming down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. As you inhale, you lift up, really send energy through those heels. Feel those muscles working in those legs. The legs stay about hip distance apart. And lift up.
exhale, lower. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Okay. Bring those hips all the way down, hands behind your head, draw your elbows forward. And we're just gonna come up and down to start, working those abdominals. Nice strong core is not only helpful for yoga, but our posture and all the other different activities and exercises that we do. So we'll work on that a little bit right now. Now, if you want a little bit more challenge, bring those legs up to more of a tabletop as you come up. And I'm going to keep giving you some cues on moving those legs around. But you're always welcome to stay back at the one we were doing before, because it's progressively going to get more challenging. Okay, you can lower one leg down while the other leg stays lifted. On this one, I'd like you to carve out those abdominals, kind of push that lower back into your mat. And then we'll switch the legs, so the other leg bends, the other leg straightens. I'm going real slow because of my knee, if you see me going in slow motion. Last time I was teaching, I had a huge crack in my knee, and I was able to keep my words clean on that one, so that was good, but I don't want to push my luck. I'll do a few more, 2. Okay, relax your head down, bring those legs up. We're going to lower one leg at a time and come up, and lower the other leg and come up, and then option to lower both legs and come up. Now, if you have low back issues, I highly recommend just do the one lower. It helps stabilize that low back, so there's not a lot of pulling on it. Another option, which I absolutely love, is putting a block under your sacrum, or if you have a foam roller, that works too. Drawing one leg down, and then both legs. For some reason, that little height just solves the problem with the low back. For me anyway, but you can try it out for yourself. So just listen to your body. It tells you something, like don't do that, don't do it. Just do what works for you. They're both very effective. One at a time. You could also do it with bent legs. Sometimes that, the shorter lever length is just what you need. So giving that a try. And then we're gonna do, I think last week we did legs up the wall, which you can do again, or you can just stay at your mat. It's a mild inversion. Okay. So now I know not everyone has a block. You might have a pillow, or you could roll up a blanket and stack it up kind of high and put it underneath your sacrum. There's that triangle bone at the end of your spine. So the hips are just slightly elevated above the heart. That gives that mild inversion. The hands are to the side. You can bring your legs up in a tabletop like this, or you can bring your legs up. And this can be done against the wall, where you can settle your feet against the wall. So this is nice. We can hang out here for a few minutes. If you want to try a shoulder stand, the shoulder stand is definitely a more intermediate to advanced position, so I don't want anyone to feel compelled like you have to try it unless you're feeling like, yeah, that's pretty easy, I could do that, no problem. So if you move to more of a shoulder stand, I want you to make sure that you keep the weight on your upper back and the back of your arms versus your neck. And you kind of have to give a little bit of momentum, bringing those knees in as you shoot your hips up, and you hook your thumb on the front of your hip
and your fingertips support right around your low back. Your fingertips are touching in onto your sacrum. Try to lift those legs up straight up from your hips. This is more of an advanced inversion. So if you feel any pressure in your neck or your face, your head, I know a lot of people have some congestion right now because of the fires. So, I'm telling you what, in all these yogi positions, it's not like you're not going to reach enlightenment if you don't do a shoulder stand. It's not a big deal. It's a cute human trick. But it's like really not a big thing if you don't do it. So check it out. Come down easy. If you're just doing the mild inversion, you can draw those legs down one at a time. It's always nice. If you have something under your sacrum, you can go ahead and remove it. Let's bring those knees to our chest and release our low back. Rock side to side if you want. And then we'll open up into Happy Baby. So Happy Baby, you can take your first 2 fingers between your big toe and your second toe, or some people reach on the outside edges of their feet or even behind their thighs. So either way, nice wide open, heels to the ceiling. You can rock your baby if you want. Bringing the soles of the feet together, we're going to go into more of a butterfly position, and then you can grab hold of your ankles or your feet and draw them into your body as the knees come open. And then bringing those knees together, let's go ahead and release, keep your right knee in, release the left leg, push that thigh into the ground, go ahead and roll that ankle around a few times. And then we'll cross that bent knee over the straight leg into a nice gentle spinal twist. Now once you're here, if you want to try to add a little extra here, that bottom leg, the heel can come up towards the bottom. And you can see if you can grab hold of it. Now some of us, it's not going to be accessible, and that's totally fine. But if you can go ahead and add that into your spinal twist if you want. Okay, let's release that foot if you have hold of it, engaging those abs as you roll back, and we'll switch legs. So we're going to take that left knee in and lengthen out the other leg. Really ground out that leg, so kind of push that thigh into the floor as you bring that knee in. Roll the ankle around a few times in each direction. And then take that bent knee over the straight leg, nice spinal twist. And the option is to pull that bottom heel up and grab hold with your hand. This one definitely won't be accessible for me, but that's fine. I'll just do the regular one. And then rolling to our back as we engage our abs. Good. If there's any other positions or stretches you feel like your body needs at this moment, go ahead and do those. Otherwise, we'll prepare ourselves for Shavasana. So in our Shavasanas, we tried a visualization last week. We've done mantra, concentration where we count our breaths, or stream of consciousness where we just kind of allow those thoughts to pass by like clouds in the sky without judgment. So I invite you just to choose whichever one that you like. If it's a visualization, you can kind of imagine a peaceful scene,
I try to think about positive things that I want to create in my life through visualization. So whatever works for you, just try your favorite one out. Go ahead and get in a comfortable position. Doing a quick scan of your body from your head to your toes, allowing a wave of relaxation and comfort and peace to wash over you. Just allowing this few minutes today for you to focus in on your breath and, most importantly, the present moment. You find yourself kind of going into the past or into the future, it's okay, just with your next breath, just sort of reset yourself into that present moment and see if you can stay there. And with your next breath, go ahead and start to bring a little bit more energy and awareness into your body. Maybe some deeper, more invigorating breaths. You can roll to your side and make your way up to a seated position, or sometimes people like to pop up and do you, whatever you want to do. And just checking in with how you feel compared to when you started the practice. Sort of checking into your mental state and how your body feels. And then bringing your hand to your heart center and up to your forehead. And then we bow with Namaste.